Welcome to the Anxiety Coaches Podcast, a relaxing and informative show where we explore anxiety, panic, and PTSD, sharing how you can overcome them for life.
Aloha! Welcome back to the Anxiety Coaches Podcast. I'm your host and coach, Gina Ryan, and I am so happy to be with you again today as together we can consider the many ways to bring your mind and body back to its natural peace and calm. In today's episode, I want to talk about what to do with intrusive thoughts. And intrusive thoughts are pretty common. Not everybody has them that they talk to me about in email and show suggestions, but boy, is it a very popular topic, both in the email and in our group and my one-on-one counseling. I am telling you that intrusive thoughts are scary, and they're things that we are afraid of. They're actually, I'll use the term crazy thoughts, things that are uncharacteristic of us. That's what is so startling about them. And they're repetitive and very disturbing. And the state we are in, it's very similar of being chased by a wild animal when these are arising. The hormones that are releasing to keep us safe and get us away from danger are also keeping us focused on the danger so that we can run to safety. The problem is we are not being chased by a wild animal. We are not in danger at all, yet our brain is still trying to get us to safety. It's doing what it is supposed to do, and the most outlandish and dangerous and fearful thoughts are coming at a fast pace again and again to try to get you to safety. Some kind of safety, to get you to move, to get you to take action. So then we try to stop them, which causes us great frustration, more fear, and that also causes us to release more stress hormones. This keeps us thinking about the scary thing or the scary things that are keeping us in this seemingly endless cycle. That's what's happening. These intrusive thoughts they're kind of like prods. They're like, we get going a little bit faster. It's as if you were being chased prehistorically, let's say, by a critter. I don't know what was out in whatever kind of animal was chasing you. And your brain is telling you that that wild animal is the biggest, most fierce that has ever existed. Its teeth are huge. It's scaring you to get you to run faster, to think about nothing but safety. And the same is happening with us when we are releasing all these stress hormones from this stressful life that we are living. We are not in the same kind of danger, but our body is reacting as if we were. Your boss giving you a hard time at work is not the same as running for your life. It isn't. You may not want to lose your job, I get it, but it's not the same. But our bodies have not caught up, and they are releasing the same hormones. Your mind is not determining whether this is something to be mildly anxious about or very anxious. Anxious is anxious. And if you are scared, your body is letting out those hormones and you are getting the messages to get to safety, whatever the imagination can make that look like. It's making you think scary things to get you moving. And what I have found over the years, and I have heard many, many, many intrusive thoughts. Many people share them with me, many people don't. But the ones that I have heard, you could not imagine these things. I'm like, where is Stephen King? What are his intrusive thoughts like? Like, what scares him? But these thoughts that people have, it's the imagination. They are wild, they are outlandish, but the most important thing you need to remember is they are there to scare you. So it is going to be the thing that is of most importance to you. Your intrusive thought is going to be different than mine. What is important to me is different than what is important to you. And so your scary thoughts are going to be different too. I think it's important that we understand that these are normal. The anxietycanada.com says, the question was asked, are dark thoughts normal? And they said, this is normal. In fact, several well-conducted studies have discovered that close to 100% of the general population has intrusive and disturbing thoughts, images, or ideas. These can range from the mild and odd to the graphic and horrifying. So I want you to understand that. It isn't weird. You've not gone crazy. And it doesn't mean that you are doing these things. These things have popped up for you because they're so uncharacteristic and so something that you would not do or normally consider. It is an anxious and intrusive thought. So there are a number of things that we can do, but before I get to that, I want to thank today's sponsors. Backblaze is with us. They have unlimited computer backup for Macs and PCs. It's only $7 a month. You can back up documents, music, photos, videos, drawings, projects, all of your data. I am so grateful that I backed up with Backblaze when I did because my computer started acting weird, and I actually ended up having total peace of mind that all of my files were okay, no matter what the machine was up to. You can access your backed up data from anywhere in the world using their web app. Access backed up files on the go with their iOS and Android apps. You can restore by mail, flash key, or hard drive with all your data shipped to your door. You can do a free, fully featured, no credit card required trial at backblaze.com/ACP. You receive a fully featured 15-day, no credit card required free trial at backblaze.com/ACP. Go there, play with it, start protecting yourself from potential bad times. Start today. I'm so glad that I did. It's really easy and intuitive to get it started, and I think that you're going to be as excited about it as I am. Remember, it's a 15-day, no credit card required free trial at backblaze.com/ACP. Plenty of time to upload and download some files. backblaze.com/ACP. And Ned is with us. The CBD market has become extremely saturated over the last few years, and it seems like you can buy CBD in almost every coffee shop or grocery store. Many of the CBD companies out there source their hemp from industrial farms in China, so please be careful where you buy your CBD, because just like with low-quality other products, low-quality CBD can have undesired effects. Ned's new Dream Set includes their best-selling Sleep Blend and the Mellow Magnesium, two products specifically developed to optimize your body for sleep and relaxation. It's the ultimate combo to revolutionize your sleep. Ned's new and improved Sleep Blend contains CBN, a powerful cannabinoid that promotes sleep. 750 milligrams of USDA certified organic CBD, yes, I said organic, from the purest single-source hemp flower extract, and 24% more organic and wild-crafted botanicals than the previous formulation. Mellow Magnesium is a powerful daily magnesium supplement with amino acids and trace minerals that propel memory, mood, brain function, stress response, nerve and muscle health, and sleep. If you'd like to conquer sleep with Ned's Dream Set, Anxiety Coaches Podcast listeners get 15% off with code ACP. Go to helloned.com/ACP or enter ACP at checkout. That's HELLONED.com/ACP to get 15% off. Thank you, Ned, for sponsoring the show and offering our listeners a natural remedy for some of life's most common health issues. So what are we going to do with these intrusive thoughts? We certainly don't want to be afraid of them. One of the first things you can do is to actually contain the thought. So you want to look for past evidence that you will do the thing that your intrusive thought is suggesting. What evidence do you have that you will, quote, lose it or act crazy? Look at your history for evidence. You've had these thoughts before. You've not done the thing. So that can be very reassuring. Generally speaking, people who act out in a horrific manner do not fear the thought or of such an impulsive action or worst case scenario. The idea of being afraid of a thought already has you thinking out the consequences of the thought and has you conscious of your actions. What evidence do you have that you will or have done this intrusive thought, action, or behavior? We do not want to focus on eliminating the feeling these thoughts produce. The thoughts and therefore the feelings are not grounded in truth. So we don't need to get rid of them. It's like it's a fathom. It's a ghost. It's not real. So there's no reason to be fighting with it and taking it down. Contain the thought. Put it in on the back burner. Check in on it at another time. It's a great way to put these kinds of thoughts, any anxious thought actually, into a containment, is to say, I'm just going to put you on the back burner for now. I see you. I don't have time for you. I'm just going to put you on the back burner because these thoughts want attention. So we don't want to pretend we don't see it or push it away or fight it. It's acknowledge it and put it on the back burner. It's a great way to contain it and not let it bleed out into your whole day. The second thing you can do is to actually accept the symptoms of overstimulation, and they will die down naturally, versus continuing to feed the release of the stress hormones by being afraid and trying to run away from it or control it. Just accept the symptoms and the sensations that the hormones have sent out. The body is reacting as it will to stress hormones, and just accept that. Instead of trying to make it stop right away, ride it out. Accept it. The third one is for you to get mindful. Get into the present moment. Bring your mind back into the present moment, and you might have to do this over and over and over again for a while. That's okay. It's good practice. When the mind goes back to the intrusive thought, which it will, it's up to you to bring it back to the present moment again, over and over again. And so you can use your senses to help you come into the present moment. Look at something that you want to look at. Focus on something, whether it be your work or nature, whatever you're doing, if you're driving or playing with your child. Use your sense of touch, smell, taste, hearing. You can just bring yourself to the present moment with your senses. And again, you will do this over and over until it becomes something you don't need to think about anymore. Then it will become intrusive thought pops up, you go to a senses. Intrusive thought pops up, you get focused in the present moment. You will eventually have a new default, but right now you've been going down the wormhole with these intrusive thoughts, so that is how you are wired. And it's going to take time, and it's going to take effort, but we're going to rewire so that that isn't how you go anymore. One thing here is that often people get frustrated or even angry with themselves, and they get hard or judgmental with themselves. This only causes more stress and more release of stress hormones, keeping us stuck in the cycle. So what's called for here is self-compassion and a non-judgmental nature. Working with our intrusive thoughts is difficult and challenging, so be kind to yourself as you are working your way out. You want to remember these are unwanted thoughts. You didn't decide to think them. They are passing through, and you are witnessing them. You are not them. We recently talked about this in another episode. These thoughts are involuntary and they do not reflect who you are. So you don't need to engage them. It's not you. It's not anything to do with your life. So you don't need to engage them. You don't need to push them away either. It's just let them be. And you can accept and allow them when they arise, labeling them, like I said before, as something you can check in later. You don't really need to check in with them later, but you're telling them in that manner, I see you. Go back in that big soup pot on the back burner. We don't need to pay attention to you right now. Accept and allow them. Don't fight with them. That's what keeps you in the stress cycle. And I want you to also remember, really clearly understand that the thoughts may return. Just because you heard me say this, or you read it in a book, or you read 10 books on intrusive thinking, doesn't mean that because you have the information, the knowledge, you may deeply understand this, doesn't mean that they won't return. As I said earlier, 100% of the general population has intrusive they said close to 100% of the general population has intrusive and disturbing thoughts, images, or ideas. So they're going to come back. It's okay. Let it come, let it go. But what happens is they become less scary because you don't identify with them. You don't any longer believe that that's you thinking that thought, that is you conjuring that up, that is something that you believe or some way that you are planning to be in life. No, it is just random, involuntary thoughts that don't reflect who you are. Continue what you were doing and don't let them disrupt your daily routine. And I kid you not, over time, they will not disrupt your daily routine. They come and they go. And they are random and they are cuckoo. Let's just say it. Some of them are quite flights of fancy that could never even be possible. None less are they real, but they frighten you. They are scary. And that is because your mind and body are working together. They think you are in danger. You are not, but your mind and body have this sense that you are in danger and that you need to get to safety. So maybe by having these wild thoughts, you will run to safety. Or you will change your environment, or you will go and do something so that you will be safe. It's your job to let the mind and body know you already are safe. Everything's okay right in this very moment. You are safe and you can handle what is right in front of you. We need to come back to this over and over again because it's the truth. Right now, you are breathing. If you are listening to me, you are perfectly safe. And when you are in need to do something, you will be able to handle that too. So just trust yourself. Know that you can handle what comes right up in front of you and let the imagination and those intrusive thoughts and flights of fancy, let them go, be contained in that big soup pot on the back burner. No need to fuss with them at all because they mean nothing. I hope this show has been helpful for you. I know it's a big subject and it takes a lot of talking about actually to get us to where we can feel comfortable when they pop up again. But you can do it. I have seen so many people, and myself included, where they were a real trigger for anxiety and they no longer even scare us. Remember, if you have a question for me, you can send it to anxietycoachespodcast@gmail.com. That's it for today's episode. And before I read today's quote, I want to remind you that if you want more than what's offered here and more personal guidance, you might be ready for our group coaching membership program. It's a deeper dive into what you learn here on these episodes. Each month, you'll receive 2 anxiety clearing skill sheets sent in email. You'll also receive 2 live group coaching calls, which are recorded in case you can't attend. Those will help guide you through your challenges And there's also a secret Facebook group for coach and community support every day, all month long. So if you're ready for more, go to anxietycoachespodcast.com/group-coaching and join today. I'd love to see you in the group. And now for today's quote. You are not your thoughts. You are aware of your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You feel emotions. You are not your body. You look at it in the mirror and experience this world through its eyes and ears. You are the conscious being who is aware that you are aware of these inner and outer things. And that's from Michale A. Singer. I'll be back in a few more days with another podcast. Until then, be well and aloha.
Thanks so much for joining us for today's episode of the Anxiety Coaches Podcast. Find more information at theanxietycoachespodcast.com.